Hey, it's Kitty, and we're going to do some more prep work before we start painting. The first step is to measure your canvas and make sure that the image on the computer, which is your paint by numbers design, is the same proportion and the same size as your canvas. Let's do the easy case first, when your image is about the same size as the canvas. I measured my canvas, which is about 20 inches wide by not quite 16 inches tall. 15.75. It's better not to round or estimate because there's plenty of sloppiness in a painting project, but this doesn't have to be one of those sloppy parts. Now I'm going to resize my image, which is a bit too big. This is good. This is super easy. I go in the image menu and pick canvas size. Change my units from pixels to inches and type in the values, which is the dimensions of the canvas. Now look at the offset. Obviously, I'm making this picture smaller, so I'm going to cut parts off of it. This rectangle shows how the cutoff is going to look. I can pick the default, which is that GIMP centers the new size and cuts off equal parts around the edges, and that's not too bad. But I'm going to play with the offset a little. I think that's better. There we have it. Everything's the same size. It's going to match up with the canvas. Now, if you have a smaller picture, here's what to do. Let's say my image is 7 inches wide by 5 inches tall, which is a pretty common photo size, and I want to stretch it out onto the same size canvas. Well, in the image menu, use the scale image operation. As you can see, 5 by 7 doesn't quite become 20 by 15.75, which is our canvas size. We would have to break the proportions and it would stretch out and look kind of weird. That's okay. Just put the smaller canvas edge value in. The longer one is too long, which is fine. Done. Now we're going to crop it with the canvas size command just like we did earlier. So on the computer, the image has been enlarged, and the quality isn't good. You can see all sorts of pixelation and fuzz, and the lines aren't sharp, but it doesn't matter. This is just a guide for your painting. As long as you can trace outlines onto the canvas, you're fine. Now that we have our image the same size as the canvas, let's turn on the grid in GIMP. Real easy. First go to View, then Show Grid, like this. Then, and this does seem a little odd to me compared to Photoshop, you have to choose Configure Grid in the image menu. This is where you set how big your grid is. Change the units to inches, and how big to set your grid is up to you. You're going to draw the same grid on your canvas in pencil, so that's something to keep in mind. I'm going to try out a few things here. Obviously, my canvas doesn't divide up evenly. That's okay. As long as the grid you put on your canvas looks the same as the grid you choose in GIMP. A bigger grid is fewer lines to draw with a pencil and ruler, but it's less guidance for your design. So if you're not good at freehanding, you might want to choose a finer grid. A finer grid is more lines to draw on the canvas and potentially erase, but it gives you more help when you're transferring. I like this, 3 by 3 squares. The next video will show me setting up my grid on the canvas. If you've used a pencil and ruler before, you may not need to watch it. That's why I divide these videos up so you can skip around. Until next time.